Hi, I'm Nixie and it's my Geekbox time. Okay, so slightly late on the my Geekbox time. For whatever reason, I still don't actually know what the reason is. The May box did not want to turn up. I went on Twitter, not always the best idea. Lots of people seem to have had the same problem. I just don't know what caused it. I messaged my Geekbox directly and my box turned up about like 2 days later. Really, with no explanation, just it'd been shipped out really late. They normally ship out sometime in the middle of the month. I don't know, it's been weird. So this is the May 2016 My Geekbox. This is the third no theme box currently, and because of Twitter, going on My Geekbox's Twitter, I have been slightly spoiled on one, maybe two things in this box. So if I seem overly knowledgeable about at least one item, there's a reason, and it's not because I'm a fan. So here we go. Oh, God almighty. There's a reason for that remark, even as rude as that probably sounds. So we'll move on. This is from SpongeBob SquarePants. This is different. Wacky Surfing. So it's a Mega Bloks, which is sort of not Lego, is the best way of describing it. So I sort of know a little bit about SpongeBob. Not a huge amount. I've never really actually sat down and watched it. So that doesn't actually look like any character that I recognize. So I have no idea who that is, and some of this is not in English. Little bits of it are, quite a bit of it isn't. So what it makes is, if you can see that, thank you, terrible camera that will be replaced eventually. So he has a little surfboard thing that he can presumably sit on, very strange, and you have two other sets with a very disturbing looking SpongeBob over there. Nobody needs to see that any closer because that's, yeah. So not really my thing, but you know, it is actually something that can be made and played with. So there will be people that will want to play with that. What is this? Is this? This looks like a ramen cup. The ramen cups, look. I presume it's like a coffee cup or something because it's yummy breakfast. It's an enamel keychain. As usual, it's a keychain that weighs a lot. I don't understand that. I actually like to be able to get my keys and not have to search in the bottom of a bag like most women do to find a keychain and the keys attached. So there we go. Lovely hand there as always to demonstrate it's a very smiley, happy. I think we're going with coffee cup. I don't drink coffee, so I can be forgiven for that. So it's a Kid Robot Yummy. So Kid Robot also do little figures, I'm sure, sort of like the some of the blind boxes that I've mentioned before. I'm pretty sure they do something like that as well. So there you go, cute little keychain. I would love, well no, I wouldn't. I was going to say I would love to hate on keychains, but no, I would not. That would be horrible. I just don't particularly find keychains useful, and that is sticking. Wonderful. We're doing very well today, as always. You all came here to see this. Let me just point that out. There we go. Right, go away. So we have this wedged in here, which is going to be okay. When I mentioned heavy, what I actually meant was this bad boy. Who I can't identify. Please tell me, because I'm a terrible human being. So this is DC. So I have no idea who this character is. I don't do DC, I'm more Marvel. So that is Superman's cape, however. So I have a feeling this has to do with at least one of the new Superman movies. And can we get this out? Yes, we can. Do we regret it? Probably. Yeah, we definitely do. Because he does not want to come out. He weighs an actual literal ton. No, he really does not want to come out. Doomsday. Okay. Maybe. Possibly. Could be. He's ridiculously heavy for a collectible figure. You know. I don't like my figures too. Imagine if you had quite a few heavy figures like this. You would have to have some pretty heavy duty shelves to avoid losing them. So, empty box. Way. So, dear God. So, we have Sherlock. So, this is Sherlock from the BBC series, which I have watched, which only has about 3 episodes a season. He is a really weird shape, so there's some more over here. So we've got a couple of different Sherlocks, a couple of different Johns, Mycroft, Miss Hudson, Molly, Strad, Moriarty, Mary, Irene, and another Moriarty. And they all look... I'm gonna have to open it. Normally I wouldn't on figures that I have no intention of keeping. I don't think I have any intention of keeping this figure. So this is another type of vinyl figure. This is a Titans figure, which I can't say that I've ever really heard of it before. I have seen ones shaped like this. I might actually own one with a very similar leg. What on earth? Oh. We'll show you that in a second, because we need to get him out. Right, Sherlock. And your lovely little scene at the back. Do you stand? Yes, you do. Do you look weird? Yeah. So what we have... Oh, let's get nice and close up there, folks. So what we have is a pretty good likeness of the actor, Benedict Cumberbatch. Say that 3 times fast, everybody. With this wonderful, wonderful... Look at this lovely molded hair. Look at the detail in that hair. Look at that face, just... Yeah, let's get that nice and close, everybody. So, and his cute little coat. He does have, as you may have noticed, he has very big legs. Very, very big legs. He doesn't appear to have a neck. We appear to be lacking in the neck department. We also skipped arm day at the gym. Relative to the size of his head, this ginormous head here, I can't stop. I'm in one of those moods today, I'm very sorry. So, yeah, ginormous head, very little strange arms, and super ginormous feet. Absolutely ginormous feet. So, yeah. So he is a Titans vinyl figure. So, no, as much as people have definitely made comments to me about the, like, even a little bit in there to protect his hair, and my choice of Funko Pop. I'm not saying that people are wrong to comment on that, but this is taking a bit far, even for me. The head is of a ridiculous size, and I'm pretty sure this is what they were talking about. They mentioned a Titans figure on Twitter. Thank you, Twitter, for spoiling this box a little bit. And I have to admit, it's not a particularly attractive figure. He did come with, oh, I almost forgot, he came with, I'm not going to open it because it is sealed, a tiny, tiny little magnifier, little magnifying glass slide that he uses. This is not an attractive figure by any stretch of the imagination. I appreciate the detailing on the face and the head in general and the hair. They are supremely accurate. Disturbingly accurate, I would say. We're getting into Uncanny Valley here with this figure. The the fact that the rest of the figure doesn't match in detail is really disconcerting. You have this ginormous head and this really strangely proportioned body. So, no thank you. We do still have one thing. I probably did make it sound a little bit as though we were done here. We are not. It's a t-shirt. It's always a t-shirt. And it is... there we go. It is a ray gun. Now, this was spoiled for me for definite. As far as I know, this is not from anything in particular, which for a geeky box is weird. For me in particular, I think there's probably a lot of older sci-fi, kind of 50s, 60s probably sci-fi, that would have had this style of ray gun. Would have had this kind of, even some of the stuff making fun of older sci-fi movies, like probably maybe the 80s or 90s, would have had something like this. So the fact that this is probably more likely than not a generic ray gun, it's a little bit disappointing for me. It's nice to have a reference to something even if I don't understand the reference right away. It's always a good talking point for people to recognize things like this, if it were something from a particular television series or movie. And I was thinking of like Buck Rogers and all that kind of stuff, and maybe not the older Star Trek, but that kind of thing. So, I mean, other than that, it's a nice design, it's a nice shape of ray gun, as strange as that sounds. It's a nice looking ray gun, it's a cool looking ray gun. It is what it is. It's very obviously a ray gun. You know, the black with the red's always good. It's just strange that it doesn't apparently reference any particular franchise or IP. I don't get it. So overall, now the reason I was maybe sounding slightly rude at the beginning is actually the Sherlock figure. So the last two random or no themed My Geek boxes had Doctor Who in them. So obviously Doctor Who is quite a popular thing over here. It is another BBC program that has gone on for a very long time, has been rebooted sort of into newer things. And there goes my voice. So, as I said, this is also a BBC television show. Funny that. And My Geek Box is a British-based box. So, you know, it's not terribly surprising that we have stuff coming in from very specific British things. I am just so glad it's not Doctor Who, but Sherlock would be the next nearest thing in terms of being freakishly British as a franchise, or as a, you know, as a program and whatnot. So, I mean, overall, it's not the worst box ever. It's also not a particularly great box. The collectible figure, the heavy one, the DC one, very good if you like that kind of thing. It is ridiculous in its weight. I don't think everybody's particularly keen on this. I'm not sure how people feel about the overall detailing on it. The SpongeBob, it's cute, it's kind of funny if you have maybe younger people opening the box. I'm a little bit older. My voice probably doesn't indicate that. That's fine. The keychain, I can never find a use for keychains. I just don't use them. I have so many of them from boxes. So, yeah, for a no themed box, it's about what you expect. It's... I can see why some people maybe complained about this and about the generic ray gun shirt. So, despite everything, despite the problems, there you go. That is the May 2016 My Geek Box. So if you could like, comment, subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channels. I don't usually rant for this long on these videos. I apologize for the length of this particular video. I'm in one of those moods today. So subscribe if maybe you occasionally want to see that. No, I'm really sorry. Oh, I said that word. I'm not usually allowed to say that word. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.